Good morning, everyone. Hearty welcome to the language classes, guys. So, in the very previous class, we were discussing about preparation of speech. What are all the points that you people have to keep in your mind? We discussed everything in the previous class. So, this will be again a repetition class, as well as I'll just make you to know how you people need to work on certain aspects, how best you can present your preparation of speech. So, we'll be discussing couple of model preparation of speech, so that that will be very helpful for you people to follow the same technique and go ahead with updating yourself with preparation of speech, which is a very important aspect for this class 12 for this academic year 20 and 21. So hopefully, if I'm done with preparation of speech, we are done with the whole syllabus for this academic year. And in the upcoming classes, in a couple of classes, we'll be just revising, or if you are in need of any repetition of course book classes, so I'll be able to get a couple of classes. So I can just make an attempt to go with revising certain things, and will make you to go with working on certain important questions and answers that will be very helpful for you to go ahead for this preparation of this academic year. So in the last class, as I have spoke about, preparation of speech as well as report writing is the only question where you people have an option. Either you people can plan to attend the question based on preparation of speech. If you're a guy with some sort of good vocabulary, if you can just manage well, so you can just go with preparation of speech, as you people can look on the board. And the second aspect is, if you're not comfortable with preparation of speech, so this is the only question, as I said, you have an option. Either you can plan to attend or answer report writing. So both report writing as well as preparation of speech comes under the very technique, what we call a skill, what we call expansion. So making use of the hint points given below in your preparation of speech, and making use of the data or of any line graph, bar graph, pie chart. So you people will be obviously expanding and preparing a report. So all the two, as I have already discussed in a very previous class, all the two goes with almost following the same technique, and both carries the same 5 marks. So this is a place where you can score 5 out of 5. It's a very scoring area, or a place where you can just get go with. So please do not neglect this question, where you have a choice. Either you can prepare or go with attending preparation of speech, or else you can just plan to attend report writing. So the very important aspects that we need to be very sure about, we have three types of preparation of speech. Either they may ask you welcome speech or vote of thanks, which is just a couple of percent. Point number two is they may ask you to attend introducing the personality. That's they'll give you the profile. Looking at the profile or the information or the data that they have given, you'll be asked to elaborate and prepare speech. And the third aspect is, they'll give you the hint points. Making use of the hint points, they'll just ask you to elaborate into a paragraph. The third option is what we call as public speech. So these are the three areas. Either they'll ask you welcome or vote of thanks by providing a hint point of an invitation. Point number two, they'll give you the profile and they'll ask you to elaborate into a paragraph with certain technical aspects to be remembered. That is introducing the personality. And point number three is working on public speech. They may give you a very public topic based on public interest topic or public general topic. So making use of the hint points that they have given, you'll be asked to elaborate into a paragraph. So these are the three types of preparation of speech they may ask you for your board examination. Coming on to the very next, there are certain important points to be remembered while attending this question, especially preparation of speech. Point number one, as we have already looked into it in the very previous class, I've already discussed in detail about it. Point number one that you need to keep in your mind is limitation of the page. What we expect, especially for this preparation of speeches, minimum 3/4 of the page in your board examination paper, or maximum is just 1 page. Do not exceed over a page, because they'll ask you something like this: making use of the points given below, Prepare a speech in about 150 to 200 words. So that's a common sense. 150 to 200 words, and it's a paragraph question or a passage question. So minimum is 3/4 of the page. You can just restrict, or maximum is 1 page. Do not plan to go ahead, or do not plan to cross 1 page. That's much more enough if you could just limit yourself for a page. Point number two, starting from the first point to the last point, it's something like how you people will be asked to work with your letter writing. Letter writing ಅನ್ನ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು from the first point to the last we work on left alignment. So everything should be aligned in left margin. In the sense, see to it that starting from the first point to the last point, everything should be written in the left margin itself. So, as we have already looked into, there are three important areas to emphasize on. Point number one, your preparation of speech should have introduction, or what we call as initial statement. You all know it very well. When obviously someone calls you to give a welcome speech or a vote of thanks, or all of a sudden, if someone gives the profile of the guest and asks you to go with, all of a sudden, abruptly, you cannot just go and start, Mr. So and so was born and brought up. You cannot do it, right? There are certain protocols to follow. So, based on that, you need to maintain introduction or an initial statement is mandatory, followed by the main message you have to go with. And the third aspect is you people will be asked to plan a good conclusion. So this technical aspect matters a lot. For this literary technical aspects, you'll be having a couple of marks. And 3 marks will be for your main message, introduction, and your conclusion. Conclusion is nothing but moving on with subscription. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೆಟರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು yours faithfully ಬರೀತಾರ, so in this preparation of speech, you'll be just managing to emphasize on a subscription, what we call thank you. That's it. Not more than that. Just thank you is enough. So other than thank you, there's no need to write down yours faithfully and all. That itself will be considered as conclusion. And as in the same way for introduction, that's what we call as initial statement. You have to begin your speech with an introduction like, good morning, everyone. Or you can also go with speaking out, ladies and gentlemen. So this is called as introductory statement. Followed by an introduction, you can just speak something like this. I immensely feel happy to be here on the dais to speak on the topic, whatever topic that they have given in this auspicious occasion. So I immensely feel happy. So this is called as introduction. Couple of lines goes with an introduction for the speech. And the conclusion or a subscription part is just a thank you. So for this alignment, as well as good morning everyone, as well as thank you, carries couple of marks for your examination point of view. Coming on to the next is main message. Main message is something that making use of the hint points where you make an attempt to elaborate your speech. How best you prepare your speech, that could be understood as a main message that carries 3 marks. So it's almost the same like how you people present your letter writing, 3+2 format. So they'll also consider the same here in the form of 3+2 format. You can just well plan it. So please look at the screen. Minimum 3 page, 3/4 of the page, and maximum is 1 page. Point number two, it is mandatory. There should be a left alignment. Point number three, there should be an introduction or an initial statement. Point number four, there should be a main message which is tackled well, minimum 3/4 of the page, or maximum is 1 page. Point number five is giving a proper conclusion or subscription part, saying thanks to one and all. And the last point to be remembered is the technique, the skill which is followed here within a very preparation of speech concept is expansion. Whether it is preparation of speech or else it might be report writing, all the two goes with a strategical skill, what we call expansion. So they'll provide you certain hint points. Based on the hint points, you'll be asked to expand either report writing or else preparation of speech. So making use of the points given below, you'll be asked to elaborate into a paragraph of a page. So that's what we call as preparation of speech. These are the very important points to be very much remembered. There are also certain key points to be remembered here. As I said, preparation of speech as well as report writing, both of them carries 5 marks. We know it well. There are certain important points. I'll just brush up a few key points that will help you to remember for the class. Key points to remember. Point number one, you have to be very formal because this is preparation of speech. You have to be very formal and it should be in the form of an address to your teachers and friends like, good morning everyone, ladies and gentlemen, my dear teachers. So something, as you all know, it should be a very formal designated beginning. Point number two is understand all the details of the information given about the topic. Analysis of the topic, content approach, and analysis are taken into consideration. It's a point to be very much noted that we check how best you are good in analyzing the things, analyzing the topic, how best you are able to comprehend and contemplate the content. That's what we call as content approach. And the third is analysis of the whole topic, what they have given, how best you are able to expand. It's what we call as analysis. All these three things are taken into consideration. Point number three is you have to construct meaningful and grammatically correct sentences to frame your preparation of speech, because preparation of speech is something that speaks about the responsibility of reflecting your mind. Hagagi, this carries a very responsible work. So please make an attempt to construct meaningful and grammatically correct sentences, which will help you to coop marks. Point number five is your speech must be very brief and to the point. Do not bug with unnecessary points. Let your speech be carried out with value based points. Whatever they have asked, making use of the hint points, do make an attempt to elaborate. That's it. So making use of the points, making use of the hint points, what they have given, make an attempt to elaborate without going out of the frame, what they have given. Point number five is your speech must be very brief and to the point. To the point is answer to the point is what we expect. What all the things that they have asked, making use of that as a very frame line, you can just elaborate your speech. Point number six is write coherent paragraph. Coherent paragraph is continuously without giving any break or without dividing into couple of or triple of paragraphs. So make it to give in a coherent, continuous one paragraph. That's fine. The next point to be very much remembered is do not mechanically repeat the points. You have not been asked to make it redundant. Do not repeat the points often. Please see to it. Do not mechanically repeat the points what you have said earlier. Often it should not get redundant. The next point to be remembered, as I spoke about, left margin alignment is mandatory. Minimum 3/4 of the page and maximum 1 page is what expected. The next point is, as I said, introductory lines matters. The next point is dealing with main message. And the next is analysis. And at last is giving a proper conclusion for the question or whatever that they have asked. So how best you can give conclusion either to introducing the personality or else if you are making an attempt to go with public speech, how best you can give your conclusion. See to it and manage to comprehend with providing proper, appropriate conclusion. That's fine. Fine, moving on with, let me start with an exercise one. Exercise one, public speech. So keeping all these things in your mind, you have to prepare for preparation of the speech. Point number one, exercise one. Let me take an introduction or let me give an example for public speech. This is how they may ask you. In order to promote reading habits in students, your college has organized a library week. You are the secretary of College Students Union. You have to speak to the students about the week-long program. Making use of the points given below, prepare a speech in about 150 to 200 words. So this is an example how they'll ask you for the preparation of speech question. So as I said, I repeated, watch my lips. I'm repeating often and often. This is the only question where you people have choice within your grammar part. Either you can select to go with answering preparation of speech, or else you can plan to attend report writing, whichever that you feel feasible, whichever that you feel comfort, that whatever that comes to your comfort zone, please fix it, manage yourself so that you can well elaborate it. Let me redo the question once again. It's an example for public speech. If they ask you for a public speech, this is how it will be. In order to promote reading habits in students, this is a general topic. Your college has organized a library week. Imagine you are the secretary of the college students union, and you have been asked to speak to the students about week long program, about speaking about library and its advantages, something like that. So making use of the points given below, prepare a speech in about 150 to 200 words. So which are the hint points? How do they give the hint points? Like, they may give you the hint points like this: days and dates. You are supposed to mention the days and dates. The next is the new arrivals that has been displayed. How best the students can make use of the best new arrivals. How each and every guy, how each and every student can obviously enhance or upgrade their knowledge by looking at many arrivals, new arrivals that has been displayed. And the next point is exhibition of the books by some publishers. So you can also speak about it. You can elaborate making use of all these wonderful hint points. The next is famous authors, poets to visit and interact with students, something which is so catchy. This is a very catchy idea to obviously inculcate or indulge a thought of inspiring the students to go to a library and read out well. So this could be a wonderful session. Famous authors and poets are planning to visit and interact with students. So it's better you make use of it, and you're just giving a call to them. And the next is more facilities that has been given in the library. And the last is you can also well speak about which are the new magazines that has been arrived to your library. So making use of all these points, how best they can make use, how they can be enriched to take part or to just get into the library and make use of it, you can well emphasize and speak about it. So this is how they'll ask you the question related to your public speech. And let's check out with one example for this. Here is an example that has been worked out for you. So you can begin something like this too. Dear friends, it gives me a great pleasure to speak to you about the library week that our college has organized from 2nd to 10th November of this year. Reading makes man perfect. It's a very general universal quote. The aim of celebrating this week is to inculcate the reading habit among students. As a part of the celebration, new arrivals in the reference section, such as encyclopedia and dictionaries and general books, will be well displayed. Sapna Book House and Cambridge University Press are putting up an exhibition for enriching or inspiring the students who could participate in it. We have also invited Dr. Shobha Devi to inaugurate the exhibition and interact with students. Other authors like Srimati Shashi Deshpande and Dr. Patil will also pay us a visit during the week. A literary quiz competition will also be well organized. The reading section will have more and more new magazines of general interest. I request all of you to spend as much free time in the library as you can. By this, you can just end up saying thank you. So if you just make an attempt to look into this wonderful example that's displayed on the board, see to it, we have followed all the rules. There is left alignment, which is very straightly taken up. Moving on to dear friends, this is called as introduction line or introductory line. This is, it gives me a great pleasure to you. This is introduction line. And thank you is about conclusion. So this is how you have to prepare your speech. There should be an introduction or initial statement, point number one. Point number two, there's introductory lines. It gives me a great pleasure anta helidiralla. This is introductory lines. Coming on to, you have dealt with the whole main message that you will be asked to discuss. This is main message. And at last, from the margin, see to it you're dealing with your subscription, just next line to the main message. You should start from a fresh line. You can also make use of giving a line space between introductory statement as well as subscription. Initial statement bardu one line spacing kodi, main message anna neatagi one paragraph. See, this is called as coherent paragraph. It has taken in a one single paragraph without giving a break to the paragraph what you're discussing. So after that, main message, give one line spacing. And after that, you can just give a conclusion stating thank you or thank you one and all. So this is how they'll give you the topic and hint points for public speech. They may ask you to speak something like this. Imagine you are this union secretary of, or you are the secretary of your union, student union council. So on behalf of Science Day, you have been asked to speak on tsunami and its disasters. So speak about the disadvantages, pros and cons, making use of the points given below. Prepare your speech in about 150 to 200 words. So this is how they may ask you. So exactly it's what you have to do it. So making use of the hint points, please organize points well and elaborate just to a paragraph of one page. Not beyond page. You should restrict the page limitation what it is expected for preparation of speech is just minimum 3/4 of the page and maximum is one page, not beyond that. So hope you're done with one example for preparation of speech for this public speech. You can just take a screenshot or else you can just put it down to your paper. Later you can just put it down to your notebook. Okay, fine. Hope you have taken your screenshot. Okay, moving on to discussing about, let's check out exercise 2, one example, wonderful example for which is very, very important. 90% they may ask you based on this, introducing the personality. So if all of a sudden someone calls you to introduce the personality or the guest whosoever who have visited, how best you can go with, this is one example. Exercise 2, introducing the personality. They may ask you something like this. Please have a look on the screen. You have a question. Imagine you are the student secretary of the college association. Your college has invited Dr. S.R. Rao, eminent scientist of R.R. Institute, Bangalore, to address the students. You have to introduce the guest and welcome him, making use of the points given below. Prepare a speech in about 200 words. I repeat, imagine you are the student secretary of the college association. Your college has invited Dr. S.R. Rao, eminent scientist of R.R. Institute, Bengaluru, to address the students. You have to introduce the guest and welcome him. Making use of the points given below, prepare a speech in about 200 words. So it's almost the same technique what you have to follow. The only thing is the concept of main message differs. Other than that, it's almost the same. There should be an introductory statement. There should be obviously followed by main message. And after main message, you'll be asked to deal with the conclusion part or concluding lines. That's how you have to follow the same technique. This is how they'll give you a profile. They'll drop you the profile of the guest who is attending the program. Making use of this profile, you'll be asked to elaborate into a paragraph. Manage your protocol well. You can add up points, many of the points of your own, which is very much related to this profile, and you can well elaborate. Let's check with an example. Please have a look on the screen. You have a profile. You can take screenshot of this. Name Dr. S.R. Rao. The second point is educational qualification of Dr. S.R. Rao, MSc in Physics, PhD in Nuclear Physics. Third point is work profile. He started his career as a lecturer in local college, completed PhD in 2001, joined RR Institute as a senior scientist, and later he became the director of RR Institute in 2010. So this is a wonderful work profile. You can add up colors to it. You can add up certain points to it, and you can just elaborate into a good paragraph. And the last point is speaking about the interest of Dr. S.R. Rao. Even though basically he is professionally a scientist, but still he had different passion. We have a wonderful passion that has been mentioned. His interests are photography and painting. So even though he's a scientist, how he has been inclined towards photography or painting, that's what you will be asked to emphasize on. So making use of this points which has been mentioned in the profile, you will be asked to elaborate into a wonderful paragraph, a coherent paragraph. Fine, you have a paragraph in a screen, you can have a look into it. You can just begin your speech something like this. Good morning, everyone. So this is initial statement. So after this initial statement, give a line spacing followed by introductory lines. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce Dr. S.R. Rao, eminent scientist on this auspicious gathering. Athava, on this auspicious occasion. You're done with introductory lines. The next followed by line is a wonderful development of thought dealing with main message. So making use of the profile points, you'll be elaborating. Here you can add up certain points. It's not that you'll be restricted only to that points. Make use of the points so that you'll be balancing your paragraph into minimum 3/4 of the page and maximum is 1 page. Dr. S.R. Rao, born on 1st July 1922 in Shikaripura. His full name is, you can just observe keenly how I have added up certain points so that to make 3/4 of the page or 1 page. Dr. S.R. Rao, born on 1st July 1922 in Shikaripur. His full name is Shikaripura Ranganatha Rao. There is a problem. Make Ranganath R capital. Shikaripura Ranganatha Rao is his full name. He completed his MSc in Physics from Mysuru University and later received PhD honorary degree in Nuclear Physics from the same university. He started his career as a lecturer in one of the local colleges and completed his PhD degree in the year 2001. So after he could complete his PhD degree, then he joined RR Institute as a senior scientist and then became the director of RR Institute in 2010. His contribution in the field of research is matchless. See how best you can make use of adjectives to obviously speak about the celebrity that adds color to your preparation of speech as well as that adds marks. His contribution in the field of research is matchless. He was a scientist. His passion was photography as well as painting. He is also honored as the Scientist of the Year 2050. So, after completion of this, you can say, hereby I give my sincere welcome to him for this auspicious, wonderful gathering. So, after that, you have made use of your subscription saying thank you. So, wonderfully, you can just elaborate your preparation of speech in a paragraph, which is a very, very easier task. It's a place where you can score good number of marks out. 5 out of 5 can be obviously considered here. So please do not neglect this part, do not neglect this question, which is so important for you to encash your marks. Coming on to, this is a model example for introducing personality. Hopefully that's more than enough. We've also again started up in the offline classes with revision. So after this, I'll be discussing about one speech writing practice. So you can just take down this question and later make an attempt to try it out at home, elaborate into paragraph. So you can just take this question and make an attempt to work on it so that you'll become perfect and thorough. Speech writing practice. 1. Imagine that you are the president of Students Association of your college. On the occasion of Science Day celebrations, you are invited to give speech on superstition. See, this is something which comes under public speech because they are asking you to write a speech about superstition, which is a very general common topic. So, as you have been invited to give speech on superstition, making use of the points given below, prepare a speech in about 200 words. You can just continue with looking at an introduction, which are the points that they have given. Look at it. Traditional beliefs, superstition andaga, we have been loaded with lots of things in our mind. We have also written many of the essays based on a topic or a title, superstition. You can just take up those points and make your speech colorful and you can elaborate it. Traditional beliefs that we have already been indulged with. The next point is irrational and illogical beliefs that we have been turned up, like it might be many times a fear, it might be the ignorance, it might be the lack of scientific knowledge, like we have been used to cat crossing one's path, creating awareness regarding all these traditional, irrational, illogical beliefs. And the next is speaking about or emphasizing about the literacy drive. So it's a point to be very much emphasized on how best literacy drive can help us to overcome such superstitions, such traditional beliefs that we have been indulged, such irrational and illogical beliefs that we have been indulged with. So, how best literacy drive, inspiring people to take up literacy drive may obviously enhance or create awareness among them so that they can reduce their superstitious ideology. And the point next is to eradicate superstitions. Literacy drive to eradicate superstitions both goes together. So it is vice versa. It should go hand in hand. Anodu. That's what you have to emphasize within your strong points. And the last point to be very much remembered is bringing people to the mainstream of the nation by obviously creating awareness among people. Obviously, by creating awareness among people or making them to be very clear about encouraging literacy drive, how best they can be, how the people can be taken into the mainstream of nation is what we'll be discussing here within a wonderful preparation of speech. So hopefully you have got to know about this is how they'll ask you in your examinations based on the hint points, what all the things that they have asked you. Make use of the hint points and wonderfully prepare your speech. So this is what you can do best to yourself for preparation of speech. 99% they'll ask you either introducing the personality or they may ask you public speech, and another last 1% you can expect the things to go with welcome speech or vote of thanks. So please make sure that you're not skipping this question off because this carries 5 marks. As I said, I'm repeating it. Either you can just opt to answer or select to answer preparation of speech, or else you can just choose to answer what we call report writing. Coming back to report writing, as I have already discussed in the class, I'm giving you a repetition. In report writing, only certain things changes, like you will not be analyzing here with this content. There is nothing to analyze. The only thing is to organize your points well and elaborate into paragraph. But coming on to exactly report writing, you'll be having introductory lines like as per the by pie chart given above hereby. So that's how you can just begin your introductory lines. and later you'll be dealing with main message. What is a main message that you use for report writing? You'll be directly analyzing the report, whatever that they have discussed in a chart. Chart ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈನ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್, ಬಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್, ಪೈ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಥಾವತ್ತಾಗಿ ಅದೇ ಡೇಟಾನ you people will be reciprocating into your paper, right? You'll be just asked to retort it. That's it. Ythavattagi, what exactly the chart, what exactly the line graph, what exactly the pie chart is speaking out, that's what we call as main message. And before you conclude your report writing, see to it that you are making an analysis. Hope I have discussed it in the previous class, but I'm repeating it. Analysis is you have to just manage to contemplate two different things and analyze it. 1991 ಅಲ್ಲಿ population in India ಇಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು. 1920 ಬಂದಾಗ what is exactly the condition? So highest rating, lowest rating, and all of a sudden where you have met with changes, it might be the depression or it might be an increase of change. So look into it, analyze it. After analysis, at last you'll be asked to give conclusion for your report writing. How best you can give conclusion? So looking at the chart athwa analyzing the chart given above, hereby it can be concluded that, so what is the pros and cons effect? What exactly had happened in 1991? What exactly is happening in 2020? What could happen in future if not certain precautionary measures have not been followed up? So hereby it can be concluded that, so what is the conclusion that you will be drawing? That's what you will be asked to elaborate here. That's how you can just tackle, that's how you can just manage to go with your wonderful usage, what we call that's what report writing. As I said, I'm repeating it. This is a very important question that you people have to take up for your main session examination. Report writing also manages the same rules, minimum 3/4 of the page and maximum 1 page. Follow the same technique starting from the first point to the last point. Everything should be aligned in a left margin. Point number 3, you should get go with giving a wonderful introduction, looking at the chart, how best you can give your introduction. That's what we call as initial statement. And the next point is what we call main message. Main message is ಯಥಾವತ್ತಾಗಿ ಆ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೊಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, that's called as main message over there. And before conclusion or a subscription, you'll be just asked to give analysis. So after writing down what all exactly the chart speaks about, the next point what you need to deal with is you have to analyze it. So 1991 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ 1995 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, 1995 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರದ ಅಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೌನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ 2020 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, and at the conclusion and at the last part you should give a conclusion. Hereby it can be concluded that anta heli you can well take up the example and wonderfully give conclusion. As I already said, either it is an expansion or else it is report writing or preparation of speech. All the two follows the same technique, what we call expansion. Report writing ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪೈ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈನ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇಟ್. ಒಂದು ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಅ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆನ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರೀಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಲೂಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಐ ರಿಪೀಟ್, introduction, main message, analysis irlebeku, followed by conclusion. Hereby it can be concluded that what is the result that you are drawing by analyzing the chart. So without analysis and conclusion, your report writing does not carry anything. You may lose your marks. Hagagi gamana ittu, if you are able to do it, if you are able to well manipulate it, that's fine. That will be a wonderful task. If not that, see to it, it's better an option to choose preparation of speech, making use of the points that's given up. You can well elaborate your paragraph. You can just follow certain points what I have already discussed, and so that will be a scoring area for your upcoming examination. So hereby we are done with the things. We have concluded almost all the syllabus, whole grammar or workbook part as well as textbook part. It's done. Whole course book syllabus is completed on online. Whole workbook syllabus is also completed on online. So we'll be again discussing the same things in your classrooms as we have been started up with offline classes. So make an attempt to come back to the classes and get your things well so that within couple of months you can prepare well for your examinations. Have a very nice day. Whatever that you are expecting us to repeat it. So as I said, I'll be hardly getting 2 to 3 classes on the online. I'll make to repeat those things. You can just drop it to either in your comment box or a chat box so that we'll get to know what exactly you are in need of repetition, whichever lesson it might be, so that I can make an attempt to give a condensed summarization for the very upcoming next class, because this week will be the last class for you people over online. Hardly left with 3 classes ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ರಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, please drop it in a comment box so that we'll just manage to go with handling the same and give a wind up class over online. Done. Have a very nice day. Hope there are no issues with this. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.